T-minus 20 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Let's get ready to sucker!
Diamonds in my teeth, I got a lot of shine. Running up the number, that's a lot of crime. Try to take it from me, must be out your mind. I'm getting fine, lot of slime. Smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Pockets running over with the dollar sign. Try to take it from me, yeah. Big time, big time, big time,
Big time.
running up the numbers, that's a lot of crime. Try and take it from me, must be out your mind. Lot of sun, smoky in the air, that's a lot of crime. Just running over with the dollar signs. Try and take it from me.
Big time.
Diamonds in my teeth, I got a lot of shine. Running up the numbers, that's a lot of grind. Try and take it from me, must be out your mind. I'm big time, lot of shine. Smoky in the air, that's a lot of crime. Pockets running over with the dollar sign. Try and take it from me, from me, from me, from me, from me.
Big time. Number 9. Diamonds in my teeth, I got a lot of shine. Running up the numbers, that's a lot of grind. Try and take it from me, must be out your mind.
And welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, inside another episode of the YSN Power Hour. Dang, who is that? A little reverb on it. Let's see if that goes away. Hopefully it does for you. It has for me. So we're good to go. It is a Monday edition of the YSN Power Hour. Lots of stuff to catch you up on. But first, we start with the national day that is. Boys, we got 3. And I want you to choose from. It's National Toasted Marshmallow Day, National Grief Awareness Day. Let's just go ahead and block that one out. And National Beach Day. So you want National Toasted Marshmallow Day or National Beach Day? Which one are we going with?
Why not the beach?
Well, since you're at the beach, why don't you start us off there, David Hasselhoff?
Yeah. We're up here at Lake Erie for a couple days, taking a little break, and it's nice out here. It stormed like crazy last night, but it was just while everybody was sleeping. Woke up, sun's shining, beach is great, water is a good temperature, not too bad.
I am terrified of the beach because I feel like every time I go on the beach, there's strong winds, some kind of tropical storm is going on, and I can't swim to begin with. So, it's like death on a platter for me. So I like hanging out because that's what you do. But find a tiki hut and just drink, and not necessarily always alcoholic drinks, but just drink and enjoy. Yeah, natty light. Have one of those, a natter day. Billy, are you a beach guy?
Yeah, and nothing's better than the beach. No worries, and just hang out, toes in the sand, ass in a chair, and, you're getting your Jimmy Buffett on. Although that's not a Jimmy Buffett song.
Nope. No.
So close.
Missed it by that much.
Hey, turn his microphone up, please. I think
It's
you're on
all
the
the
wrong
way
mic. You're on the wrong mic, I think.
I got 3, 4.
Can you hear me now?
Yep, there it is.
Yeah, that's better.
You know what it is? Because you were playing with that stupid little one before.
Oh, look at this.
This
Pass
one's
the
not
buck.
plugged in.
Oh, maybe not.
Listen, it's fun to just clip it in the beard.
Matt, do you like the beach?
It blends in too. You don't even see it.
That's what Quinn said. He was like, I didn't even notice. Yeah, I love the beach. I love to go down. Family always goes down to Hilton Head and just kind of hangs out, grill some food out by the beach, and just relax.
Quinn?
Yeah, absolutely. Love the beach. Like Saito said,
A little
Hilton
surprised
Head.
you're a beach guy.
Big Hilton Head guy. Good golf down there. That's why.
Good golf.
Good golf.
Quinn's too white to like the beach.
The most tan one on this whole panel right now.
Excuse you.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I take no offense.
I got nothing against it.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to win that trophy. That's not what I'm playing for, boys.
My first trophy.
You said it, not us.
He has lots of plaques.
Yeah, so the National Beach Day, happy National Beach Day, I guess, if you're out there and out and about. Paul, you might be one of 7 people on the beach today.
Yeah, I think that was about it. I mean, it was nice. We got there about 11 o'clock and there was nobody there. Not even a lifeguard, which might have helped.
Is it like a yeah, you almost died. And I'm not funny, but kind of, a little bit.
It's a little fun.
It's a little funny.
Are you taking a vacation like 1 week into school?
Yeah, well, because we're off this whole week. We're off this whole week of school.
That's right, because of the Canfield Fair.
Yeah, because of the Canfield Fair. So we sat there. We're like, well, let's just go somewhere. An hour and 10-minute drive up Route 11, and got this nice little 2-bedroom cabin. It is the water's right across the street, but it's not accessible. I mean, it's like a steep rock cliff to the water. So we just drove a mile up the street to a nice public beach, and there was nobody there, which is the beautiful part of they're still in school up here. So there's nobody there. And it was nice.
Like when you talked to me in the press box the other day, for some reason, my thought process was it was next week because everybody has Monday off already, that you were pushing it to next week. So when you said that you're at the beach now, I was like, did he just go to school for a week and then just completely blow off week 2? Like that's it. I'm taking all my vacation days right now.
Yeah, no. So because we figured we got here yesterday, we'll be here today, tomorrow, and we'll be here Wednesday, and then we'll leave Thursday morning to be back in time for everything that needs to go on this weekend. So football, and I won't miss any of that stuff. And I was like, all right, it works out perfect.
A great week of football on the network, and one guy in particular that is particularly excited about this past week. Coach, I'll give you the floor. I know you talked a little bit about it with me on Running Point. You got to be happy with the outcome of that ball game.
Yeah, definitely.
Got the dub.
That's right. It's important to start the season on the right foot, and I thought we did that. Obviously, still a lot of things to clean up, but we'll get them cleaned up this week in practice, and we'll move forward. We're on to Matthews.
What was the biggest thing that you were surprised by victory-wise? I mean, obviously not surprised by the victory, but there had to be things that you were like, wow, I really appreciate what and who stepped up, under the bright lights on Saturday.
Yeah, I think about guys like Carter Holodnak, who's new to us, just came over, and he really put a hit on some guys and surprised me from his outside linebacker spot. The Frederick twins are the Frederick twins, and they're just going to, do the things that they always do. Saw some surprising things out of them, some spin moves and things that I hadn't seen before that, maybe a little bit of new firepower in that arsenal.
What about sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, before we click on Amos thing, I wanted to ask, Coach, who was that kid in that picture? Because that was character, out the ass for a high school kid.
Yeah,
doing
that
what
was
he was doing.
So that was Noah Frederick in the picture. He ran for 176 yards and 2 touchdowns and kind of led the way offensively for us. Just a great kid, and I'd love to be able to take credit for that, but that's all him.
Amo shining a light on it as well. MVP for those guys. They bailed us out on Friday, Paul, going to East Canton, right?
Yeah.
So shout out to Amo and the whole crew. What's that?
They did a heck of a job too.
They did. The only compliment or the only comment we got about them was that they like saying dude.
Dude, where's my car?
Yeah.
And that's okay with me. I'm all right with that. I mean, that's what it is. I mean, we're fans first. That's the biggest thing about YSN. And Amo is a huge fan of United football and really just any football at this point. I think, Paul, you could probably send him anywhere and he'd be go for as long as he had a partner with him.
Yeah. I mean, hey, those are the guys we love here. I mean, just, hey, where do I go? I want to see football. And, I mean, we got to take advantage of this right now. It's awesome weather outside. The fans are packing it in. And we're getting good games. I mean, we got good games all over the place.
Yeah, Billy, you got to see a lot of good games on Audible Call. You and Coach Seidel were back there and kind of taking it all in. What stood out to you? What team stood out to you this weekend that otherwise maybe you wouldn't be able to see because you were doing a game?
Well, I really wanted to kind of pay attention to the Hubbard game. For obvious reasons, I was the only one to make the other side of that coin. But and it almost happened, almost came through. But that was a big one. I wanted to see Crestview. I wanted to see if they can muster up the points. And we had some just issues in our back. Just we were overloaded a little bit when it comes to the Wi-Fi in the back. So we had some issues getting their games on. But they ended up pulling through in the second half, kind of taking charge of that against Southern. And really it was just, hey, I get a chance to just get a little peek of everybody, which I kind of missed because I think I did 2 Audible calls last year, and I really enjoyed it because I was way more prepared for the week ahead, talking about some of these guys and some of these teams playing. Camel was a big one I wanted to see. I wanted to see if they can keep up with Lowville, because they were so explosive a year ago. I just remember them scoring so many points. And Lowville is the real deal, which I said last week would be my sleeper team this year, but and they proved that they're here to stay. They're a contending team.
Matt, how about you? Is there anybody that really surprised you or was fun to watch from your standpoint? From the one night off of coaching, you got to sit back and watch everybody else?
Yeah, like Billy said, I was really looking forward to watching that Hubbard squad. The other team that really stood out to me is, and we talked a little bit about it on Running Point, but that Struthers team is just so well balanced this year, and they're a lot of fun to watch.
All right. Quinn, how about you? I mean, you got to watch, obviously, Coach's team on Saturday, but you also took in it wasn't the Canfield game. Which game did you go to?
No, I ended up doing Boardman-Cheney.
Boardman-Cheney. That game was awesome.
Yeah. I was, going into it, I was expecting Boardman to kind of run away with it, but after sitting on Thursday out there at practice and seeing them and kind of do what they do and listen to everybody talk and stuff during prime time, I started kind of believing a little bit more in Cheney. And I was unsure of how Galt would have done at quarterback in that game. And, I mean, he proved me wrong big time. He stepped up, played a great game, and, it came down to the final couple plays, and Boardman came away with it. So I was impressed with Cheney. I really was.
I was going to say after, when you look at that, was it a 9-0 lead at one point or Boardman?
Yeah, Boardman was up 9-0 at the half.
What happened to Cheney to have him come back? I mean, was it
came out of halftime.
Okay.
They started passing more. The first half was a lot of running for both teams. And then Cheney kind of came out and let Galt throw. And, that first drive, they went all the way down the field, and I believe they fumbled on the 2-yard line or something. Got a stop, went back down. They scored on a little fade route. And then Galt ended up running in a touchdown later on to give them the lead until Boardman scored late.
Can you guys hear the lawn maintenance going on behind us?
Yeah, my dude back there is going at it with the weed whacker. I think he's trying to put a hole in the building.
Time is ticking, baby. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all. The only clue you need is the time is ticking. From my perspective, it was fun to watch kind of everybody because what I'll do is I'll put the game on or the audible call on and watch kind of as the game proceeds in ours, like during the breaks and things of that nature. It seemed like everybody that was back there, guys, was having a good time. And it was, to me, it was very efficient. It was very clean, and 88 touchdowns were covered on Friday night. I mean, kudos to you guys. Kudos to Ack and Steve and Eric Oates, Sarah, the whole crew back there. McNuggies, who did a phenomenal job, I thought. You kept it flowing like water out there, and 88 touchdowns is nothing to sneeze at. But what I thought was interesting is you guys were like, you wanted more. You wanted to be perfect. You wanted the 100 or 102 touchdowns that were on Friday night.
We talked back here about wanting to get over 100 touchdowns and trying to get every single touchdown that we could in. And honestly, what a great crew to work with, because everybody was signaling to me, hey, go to us, go here, go there. It made my job easy.
Hey, you know who had over 100 touchdowns? Just saying.
Didn't you have it over 2 days?
No, it was the one day.
Because it was like 155 touchdowns over the Friday and Saturday. Because they didn't. I forget how that worked. Some of them got canceled.
That was a storm last year, week 1.
2.
That's what it was.
I'm going to drop these headphones and come over there, Quinn.
Go ahead, I'll get the weed whacker.
You don't want that.
Take out the weed whacker.
It's going to take him 30 minutes to open up that back door.
Yes.
You have time. Paul, I mean, from your standpoint, the South Range game, I mean, you and I were both there watching it. I mean, it was the tale of two halves for South Range, and not necessarily a bad thing, but it was they came out firing on all cylinders, and then all of a sudden they only got one score in the second half, and it was at the very end of the ball game. Does that concern you at all about our Raiders?
I mean, there was 2 games, and obviously this was one of them I wanted to talk about. For sure. I mean, first play of the game, they go deep, on a pass, and Skirpak to Lindstrom, they scored a touchdown, and it was taillights from there on. I mean, University really didn't get within, 2 touchdowns was about the closest they got in that whole game.
Points, yep.
Yeah, because, South Range had a block on the extra point, the 1 point. But other than that, yeah, I mean, they took care of what they needed to. But again, like you said, it was 34-14 at halftime. And again, they scored with like 5 seconds to go in the game to get that last score. And then it ended up being 40-21. If they would have got that extra point, I was talking to my spotter up there, it would have been the exact same score as the week before. Week 1 was 41-21.
Wow.
So I was like, this could be a little good omen here. But the second half just wasn't impressive. It just kind of seemed like, for the most part, yeah, it was almost like watching and not, again, like you said, it wasn't a bad thing. But back in the day when you used to watch Ohio State with Tress, he'd get a big lead and then just kind of take the foot off the gas and just kind of go through the motions and get your win and go home. Yeah, I think it was one of those games where I think they should have really kind of flexed their muscles a little bit more and really taken advantage of a team that was out of their league. Really was. That you're a D2 school being University, but South Range, first off, had more kids on the sidelines than they did and just were more physical. The one kid for University was a monster. Kid was number 78. I remember his name right. I think it was Christopher Jackson.
Yep.
He was a beast. On defense, offense, he was getting pushed all over the place. But on defense, you got within an arm's reach of this kid. He just one-handed grabbed the hold of guys and drug them to the ground. Other than that, though, really South Range kind of did what they wanted. They ran the ball pretty well. They definitely passed the ball very well all over the field and did the thing they wanted to do. They're going to have another big test this week, I think. I know some people are looking at, Canton Central got beat, and the team that they got beat by, Hubbard pounded the week before. So what's this mean? It doesn't matter. Canton Central is a thorn in the side of South Range athletics in general, whether it's football, basketball, baseball. So they're going to have another good test this week. The other team I was going to talk about was just showing their grit was Springfield. And, everybody was kind of sitting there going, okay, are they going to come back after this week 1 loss? How are they going to manage it? Brookfield had all the momentum and like, hey, this is going to be our coach's 100th win. And the coach was all fired up about people not picking his school the week before. What's going to happen out there? And Brookfield had it. Brookfield had, a lead going into the late game. What, with like 4 minutes to go, they had the lead by like, I think 2 scores, right? And, Springfield come back and showed, listen, there might be down, but they're going to come back and show that they can win. And so credit to Coach Guerrero and those guys for getting that done. So that was impressive because I think a lot of people were waiting to see how they were going to react to losing week 1 in a big rivalry game. I think everybody's kind of expecting them to maybe struggle a little bit in their 3 non-league games and then maybe kind of roll through their league. But they're showing there might be a little chink in the armor, but they showed we can work through that. So good for them.
Who was your team of the week, Paul?
Sebring, baby. Let's go.
Right after he says we're going to get rolled by Springfield in the league.
I didn't say rolled. I did not say rolled. No. No.
I mean that's a good win for the program in Sebring. That's I mean, I'm going to just put it out there, and I know you would never take this to the bank, Matt, but I think 4 wins gets you in this year. I really do.
It's going to be interesting to watch and see what happens as, the playoff field expands this year. And, for us as a team, it's just take it 1 week at a time, make sure we handle business at week to week. Best thing about being 1-0 is the chance to go 2-0.
Listen to
another game to like just to kind of keep in mind or pay attention to was the Canfield game. Went down to the last play in the end zone where maybe no feet down, maybe a foot down, but the ball was caught and the refs rolled it out of bounds and the game was over. Otherwise, Canfield would be sitting 2-0 right now.
Hey, right now, Coach, you're tied for 10th place. You're making the playoffs.
Oh, you looked at Joe Idle too, huh?
Looking at it right now. You're tied with the Bombers.
Yeah, it's early in the season.
How many teams don't make the playoffs from this region?
In this region, you look at
7, something like that.
I think it is 7.
13.
13 teams don't make the playoffs.
13 teams do not make it.
Siggy saying the ending of that Canfield game was unreal. Listen, there's nobody that has told me that kid didn't have a foot down yet.
We didn't quite see it. It was just out of frame for us.
It was on Jeffy Cam.
Yes.
And listen, those press boxes are toit. They are toit like a toiter. And like he told me, he's like, I did the best I could, man. But if I would have went over any more, I would have been up against the press box.
Yeah.
Like you'd just seen press box. Angles aren't always the best. And listen, production value, we're working on it. Don't worry. But man, alive to watch audible call, and that's what Sigler. I have a picture of him watching audible call on the way home. It's so cool. Like to me, that's cool because you're watching it like one eye on the road, one eye on the phone, and you're going home, and then you come in and the audible call is still coming on. I haven't had that experience very often because I seemingly always get the 4-hour game and the track meet that goes on. And to be honest with you, the first half of the game, Paul, for South Range, I thought it was going to be the same thing. I thought it was just going to be a track meet, and then the second half starts, and that third quarter, before you could blink, it was over. It was just they started that clock and they didn't stop it until it hit triple zeros. Billy, who's your team of the week this week?
Man, team of the week. There's so many really good ones. You know what? I'm gonna go. I'll go this way. I'll go Newton Falls. Newton Falls is the team of the week. 2-0. They deserve it. They beat Jackson Milton this week, and right now they're team of the week right now. What happened with like the team that I follow, the Bray? I expected that.
Yeah.
I didn't expect the points to come after the second half. They kind of went on cruise control. We talked a little bit earlier about that, but
I thought you were going to go the other Vikings.
Oh, you're talking about Waterloo.
Waterloo Vikings.
Waterloo, yeah. Man, Waterloo's Waterloo's a 1A, 1B there, because somebody going out here making predictions 0-10, and they're 1-1.
Easy there. Keep your comments to yourself.
As we know, I don't keep my mouth shut or my comments to myself. I say what I want, how I want, when I want, and that's why sometimes I'm not allowed on the show.
Wait. Who the hell kept you off the show?
Not a person. I just felt like, you know what? It needed to be said.
I was going to say, like, Quinn and I are the ones having control. Anytime you're on, we kick you on. You're the only guy. Quinn, who's your team of the week?
That's tough. I got to go Sebring. I mean, I got to drive all the way up there. I got to watch them, and I've gotten to go out and see.
Paul, did you just get 200 pounds on your coattails there? Because it was.
Yeah, well, unlike Paul, I've seen them practice. I've talked to Coach in depth about this all year so far, and like seeing it all kind of come together.
He's just mad I got to go first. That's all it was.
Well, you didn't get to see practice. You didn't get to go see them scrimmage and stuff. I did, and seeing them last year play and all that stuff, and knowing some of the kids on the team and stuff, just seeing it all kind of come together in week one with a huge win is awesome.
It's awesome and stuff.
Awesome.
Coach, how about you?
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not going to say
Sebring just because I feel like that'd be too much. But from watching Audible Call on or producing Audible Call on Friday, honestly, I got to go with Ursuline because wow, did they look impressive.
I told you, best team in the state of Ohio, also the best team in PA this week.
That's ice cold. Is what that is. West Branch team of the week. Salem is 1B. That is a good pick, Amo. That is a really good pick. I am going to go with East Liverpool because it would have been really easy for them to pack it in and say, you know what, we lost a tough one to West Branch in week 1, and we're just going to turn our focus to week 3, week 4. Indian Creek is a rivalry that's kind of been building down in East Liverpool in that conference, and they put it to them. I mean, you look at what they did, and they scored 6 points in week 1, and they come out and put up almost 40 in week 2. East Liverpool is my team of the week here in week 2. So good spread around, guys. Good spread around. I like that.
Wow, and just looking like Billy's talking about, with Ursuline being one of the best teams. I mean, in Division 4, there could be some great matchups in that Division 4. I mean, we got a handful of schools. Again, I know it's super early, but I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of our schools are in the top 16 right now, and there could be some great matchups locally too, right out the gate.
I want to know if there's a better matchup than Ursuline and LeBray in the playoffs. I don't know that there is. I want to see that more than anything. I would pay pay-per-view to see that game.
Them play each other?
Yep.
Yeah, they won't.
The Ursuline's D4 and LeBray's D6.
Well,
yeah.
There goes that. I thought they were both D4.
No, I mean in Ursuline's right now. I mean, West Branch is there, Salem is there, Struthers, Poland, Girard, and East Liverpool. Those are all teams that Beaver local.
LeBray's D6.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And and right now, believe it or not, points wise, they're 4th. Newton Falls is ahead of them.
Dude, Springfield versus LeBray.
Springfield's sitting 14.
How did I think that they were D4? That's nuts. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I apologize about that. I thought, because we talked about that in week 1.
They seem like a bigger school. They really do. You think they'd be like D5?
I think they were 5 last year.
They were 6 last year.
Dang.
Yeah, they got Mogador. How about Canton Central's a D6 school?
Quinn, you getting some fans out there? What's Noah going to clean this week?
It's just more people that understand how smart I actually am. I am a genius.
Amo answering the question. He says he's going to clean Matthew's defense.
I'll refrain from comment.
That's not the line. What's the line? I'll keep my comments to myself.
That's right.
Players of the week. I mean, from your standpoint, who stood out to you guys as a player that showed up and showed out? Paul, we'll go back to you first.
I want to go first.
Okay, we'll go.
Come on, Coach. Yeah, we're going reverse skate.
Yeah. So I'm going to go with Blaze X-Line because, man, does he live up to his name.
Stolen valor right there. That's stolen valor. You stole it from me. Quinn.
I'm going to go Aaron Galt. Or not Aaron. That's
Andrew.
his brother. Andrew Galt. Quarterback of Cheney. Stepped up big time.
All
Almost
right.
stepped up. I expect it this week.
All right. Mac.
Another 3 touchdowns, 150 yards rushing. Devin Carter just seems to just be consistent. It's almost like if he doesn't have 150 yards and 3 touchdowns, you're going to be disappointed this year.
Go with that. Paulie.
As crazy as it sounds, I mean the Caffey, TC Caffey. He had big shoes to fill in from the week before, rushing for almost 500 yards. Like, what was he going to do? And he came back and ran for another 200 plus yards. So, it was a dogfight out there, and he stepped up. I mean, he could have fell off the earth and just had like a less than 100 yards or 100 yards and just kind of been mediocre. And he stepped up. I mean, kid's going to probably rush for 1,000 yards in the first 3 games of the season. So, it's impressive.
Trying to find the stats, and I apologize. Here, I'll get you off the screen. It's sideways. That's always good. I believe Bunch had a bunch of yards passing, if I'm not mistaken, against East Palestine, and that's a bounce back game. Tyler Bastarkey had 2 touchdowns for East Palestine, which, as you know, a team that is desperately looking for points any way they can. Their senior stepped up, and 7 led the way. Tyler Bastarkey with 2 touchdowns. But I think Bunch had a good game, too. And I apologize for not having those stats. We got here. Tamburo had a big game for Ridge as well. So, sorry, man. It's the sideways. I don't know what to do.
When you start going like this, I start, it's The Exorcist. It's like
doing this guy. So when you look at it, some of these guys we want to get some shine on because they deserve it. It's not just the games that you're expected to win. It's the games that maybe you lost, but it was a good effort from you, and that's what we want to do. We want to shine on these kids. So good effort all the way around. Everybody got to pick one, right?
Yeah, and my defensive coordinator's looking for some love down there in the comments. So hats off, Wade. You guys did well.
Is that Lisa Lucas Smith?
Yes.
Parker Newburn, a freshman at United. Watch out for him. He's going to be a problem. Not afraid to sling it. I don't think that there's any quarterback in United that's afraid to sling it. I love DJ Ogilvy coaching up these quarterbacks because I love passing football. Love it. That's why Billy Skirpak just lighting up the skies in 10 seconds into the ball game for a 65-yard touchdown. I'll take that.
That's what's going to be something to watch for is some of these pass-happy teams. What are they going to do when the weather changes? It gets a little colder. Ball gets a little harder, maybe a little wet. Like, what are some of these teams going to do? And Coach will say the same thing is teams that rush the football well carry into the cold weather of Northeast Ohio.
That's right.
The analysis.
Tons
Stamp
of
it.
insight here.
That's right.
Bunch, DJ was 13 for 15, 231 yards.
I mean, pinpoint, right? Pinpoint.
56 yards was his longest pass, and he had 4 touchdown passes.
There it was. Thank you, Paul. I appreciate that. See, you were looking sideways, too.
Yeah, because if I turned my phone, it was going to turn the other way. But, Coach Pav there getting those stats out to us, and I'm looking, I'm like, man, if I turned my phone this way, it was going to flip on me again. So,
yeah, Bunch had a bunch of yards and did a great job, and a bounce-back win for Ridge. And, Coach, that's a team that's in your conference, the MVAC, a team that you're not afraid. I mean, not that you're afraid to play anybody, but you're not afraid because you're very familiar with it. You love Coach Shaner. You guys have a great relationship, and you love the competitiveness on both sidelines.
Yeah, Coach Shaner's a great friend, and we enjoy battling against each other. talking in the off season and just bouncing ideas off of each other. But man, I really think they could put something together here this year.
Who's the team, guys, that you think could be in trouble if they don't get it together this week? Anybody want to take this one?
You're just asking me to give bulletin board material, aren't you?
What's that?
You're just asking me to give bulletin board material, aren't you?
I mean, you can skip it. I don't think anybody would blame you for skipping this question, Matt, and that's completely up to you. I'm going to say Mooney is in trouble at 0-2, and they go up against Cheney, which is a very hungry team. But I think Cheney's in that same sentence where if they don't win, either team, if they don't win this game, they're in trouble for trying to make the playoffs unless everybody gets in. And I still think that's a possibility. So give me Mooney and Cheney, and this really could be one of the games of the week this week with so much at stake already. Billy?
I want to say, for some reason, I just want to say Poland. I think that they just need to play better. All the way around. I think they need to figure themselves out a little bit. I don't know if they have the time to do that because they're a team that made a hell of a run last year, and their expectations are always high at Poland. I mean, for me, that's just a safe pick. I think they anticipate winning every single game, as they should, but they definitely have the talent and the capability of doing so. So I'm going to go Poland.
And who do they have this week? They have who am I missing them?
Poland's got Howland.
Ooh, another big game.
And then they start league playoff with back-to-back. They go Hubbard, South Range.
Jeez.
Yeah, that is tough. That is a tough schedule. Paul, how about you? Who's the team that you think needs this week big time?
I know, as crazy as it sounds, I mean, I was trying to look at who I could say with this one because there's a bunch of schools out there that are, I almost wanted to say Valley Christian, but I think Valley Christian's going to get back on track, and I think they're going to take care of business and roll out. I mean, this one might surprise some people, but I'm going to say Canfield. And I know that, I mean, they had a good win against Poland, but now that we're seeing Poland, now you got to wonder, besides being a rivalry game, was that a good win for them? They lose to Dover, and some people are saying, okay, the kid was in bounds, whatever. They get JFK this week.
Cleveland JFK.
Yeah, Cleveland JFK. But then, they go.
If it was Warren.
Yeah, it'd been a little different if it was Warren. But then, I mean, they get New Philly. Then, they got, Cheney, Fitch, Howland, Boardman. I mean, they've got a gauntlet of some teams to run there. So, I think they need to come out and put a big, impressive win on the board to kind of get that swag back a little bit because, they don't have an easy schedule. So, they kind of stumble here a little bit. They could trip up a little bit. Because again, I know it's super early to talk about where people are, but they're sitting 13 right now. So, they need to keep some wins here to stay up there in that top 16 and go from there.
Amos says Louisville. They've had tough matches, though. I expect them to bounce back. Louisville is a team that had too many turnovers in that game against Poland. Otherwise, I think they probably pull it out. I saw some of the plays that they had, turnovers in the red zone. They were on the 1 yard line, 2 yard line, knocking on the door, and they fumbled a handoff. It just unfortunate for Louisville, but Poland took advantage and won that game. So, Quinn, who do you think needs this week to keep things going for their season this early on?
So I got two,
okay.
And if Coach keeps staring at me, it's going to be three. Two teams. One of them is Wellsville. They haven't played a game yet, so they're getting into that situation where they're going to need to start playing and need to get wins to get in. I know in two team that I think that needs to get better. Well, I don't know about get better, but kind of get back moving in their direction is McDonald. There's a gauntlet of a schedule in the end back. They have, later on in their year, just looking at it right now, they got Springfield, they got Western Reserve, Lowellville. They got some teams that they can, if they stumble against them, they might get knocked out too.
Look at Coach looking. What about me? What about me?
That boat at 1-0. Surprisingly, I think Sebring needs to get a win too. They need to keep winning.
I agree.
And poor Wellsville, I truly mean this. They haven't played a game yet. You know who their game is this week?
Lowellville.
Oh, wait, it's Lowellville?
They play Lowellville.
Yeah.
They canceled against Toronto and Edison. They play Lowellville. at home though, which is nice. But they need to start winning and playing. They just need to get on the field.
And Louisville is hot.
But now you're getting the Rockets on turf.
Yeah, you get the run and gun offense.
What's that, Billy? Just
It's like a rocket. You know, like one of those, like
Kind of like a bottle rocket.
like a bottle. Exactly. A bottle.
But I mean, there's a couple of teams like that. I mean, Latonia needs to get on the field too. They're in the situation where they might get knocked out just because they're not able to play yet.
I don't disagree with Sigler. I don't disagree. Beaver Local needs a win because that Week 4 game is going to be a bloodbath between those two teams. An absolute blood. And I think that'll be Paul, correct me if I'm wrong, that's our spot for primetime.
Yeah, that's where we want to go. We want to go to that big rivalry down there in Columbiana County. So
Prime time.
Week 3, we're trying to make it out to Warren JFK. We have some obstacles to overcome. Paul, you kind of gave them to me in the last hour, and obviously I had some things going on with filling in for Anthony. So we're going to try to overcome those obstacles and get them where we need to go. But my goodness, if you want to have prime time on location, if you didn't think last week was cool, I don't know. I don't want to know you because I thought that was one of the coolest things we've ever done. To me, that was cool to have Coach Emil have a couple of the players, 3 of the players, talk to our guys. But if we'll work with JFK and hopefully, fingers crossed, that'll be our spot because that's a big Garfield versus JFK game, in which I think that's going to be one of the primetime matchups that evening. Who else? Anybody else? I mean, come to mind that really needs a big victory here in Week 3 to keep the season churning and keep the spirits high?
Who did you say?
Did I say Cheney?
You agreed with Beaver
Cheney
Local.
and Mooney? And then Beaver Local, too. I also think this is going to sound crazy because they're 2-0. But I still think Boardman needs that one win, like stamp it, like we've got this one, and they beat Massillon Jackson. I'm a believer. Same thing. I feel the same way right now about Boardman as I did about Fitch. Like I felt like last year everybody just kept waiting for Fitch to come back down to reality and to be who they thought they were. And I think Boardman, they're injured right now and they're winning games. So what happens whenever they get back to healthy? Look out. So if Boardman snaps off a win in Massillon Jackson, I'm liking their chances, man. I'm really liking their chances. And just saying that you need a win in Week 3 doesn't mean that you didn't win the first 2 weeks. I think that if Boardman wins against Massillon Jackson, they're on lookout. They're on lookout. So, any other teams before we take a quick break?
Probably Brookfield needs to get a dub after that.
I like that.
They got some guys. They got to play LaBrea down the road. They got to play Newton Falls down the road. There's some teams in there that can put some points on it and have been playing good football. So Brookfield's got high aspirations again this year to make the playoffs 2 years in a row. And I know that coach is trying to get 100 wins, so they need to figure some things out and close out some games.
I like that a lot. That's a great pick, Billy. Anybody else?
I think the team that plays Brookfield this week needs it too. Western Reserve. They're 0-2. They need to get on the right track too.
So the team that wins that game, you feel pretty good about moving forward, Quinn?
I would feel better with Western Reserve moving forward than I would Brookfield, personally.
Wow.
Ooh.
Wow. Okay. Paulie, any final ones?
No, I just was trying to look over our schedule and see some of these schools. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if we really hit on anybody that we might have missed. And if we did, we apologize. But, I mean, there's some – the Cowboy got to Brookfield last week. Siggy, that lady with the cowbell, who was right in front of our broadcast. That's pretty good.
Gerard, I thought Gerard had a great signature win over Liberty in Week 2. I thought that was a great win for them. Because there were a lot of question marks around their program.
Watching that game, I had their game last week on Friday. And it just never felt like it was out of Gerard's hands. It just felt it was they scored first, and it was just, hey, we're about our business, and they got a nice dub.
We're going to close the door on Week 2, and we're going to look forward to Week 3. I'll give you the teams that are going to be playing each other right here on the network, and we're going to discover the game to watch, the can't-miss game of the week, right here on YSN when we return to the YSN Power Hour, brought to you by these great sponsors. Come see one of the Valley's hidden gems. The Back Nine Bar and Grill on the Berlin Lake Golf Club is the perfect place for fellowship, fame, food, and fun. Check out our daily specials and ask about memberships. The Back Nine Bar and Grill on Hartzell Road in North Benton.
We are there in your community. Small business owners, mechanics, police officers, homemakers, and we are there serving our nation in the Air Force Reserve. When medical emergencies arise, in cybersecurity, when natural disasters happen, we are there in space. We are Reserve Citizen Airmen, and we are there with over 180 different jobs to serve your country. Air Force Reserve.
Working with your family can be stressful at times, but because they're family, you know that you're going to get a loving, honest answer, even when things don't make sense to any problem. Dealing with Medicare can be confusing and overwhelming. That's why here at Myers Family Insurance, we do our best to give you honest and caring answers to all of your questions. Family, like Medicare, isn't always perfect, but when you put others first, the results can be amazing.
For all your Medicare needs, call Myers Family Insurance.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, the YSN Power Hour. About 46 minutes in, we're going to pick our game. Not pick our games, I take that back. We are going to go down the list of games that we will have on Friday up to this point. Of course, schedules are subject to change based on availability of the game and actually the announcers as well. We've had a couple announcers fall sick over the past couple weeks, so hopefully that doesn't become a trend. And by the way, not COVID related, at least to this point. So thank God, and fingers crossed. Let's go from the top down, Paul. Let's go Austintown Fitch at Glen Oak. Ty's going to have that game for you. Kickoff set for 7 p.m. Is this a game that you are going to put the brakes on and watch this game, or are you going to keep on going as there's another game to watch on the network?
I think it should be a good game. I think Fitch has to go up there and tighten some stuff up. And, why not go up there and do it against a good school? So, yeah, I like this one. This should be a game. This would be a game I'd click on to in the press box on Friday night.
Since you're going to be watching The Office from now on, we're going to play a little 0 to 10 bean counter. And you have to put how many beans you would put in how many of watching this game. Because they do it on The Office. They put beans on the faces. So 0 to 10, what are you giving this score for watchability?
This would be like a 6. This would be a 6 for me. It'll pique my interest.
All right. Billy?
3.
Okay. Quinn?
4.
Coach?
Do I get beans?
Yes, you can have beans.
All right. 6.
All right. I'm gonna go with a 7 here. I'm interested, but to me, this is Fitch's game to lose if that's the way it turns out. Because Fitch, I'm just gonna put it out there, they're the real deal to me. They are the real deal. Beaver Local at Minerva. Michael McKenzie will be on the call. How many beans on this game, boys?
0 beans. Minerva stinks.
Minerva stinks?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you're the one saying about bulletin board material. Good Lord.
I don't play Minerva.
Not yet. Brian's getting a phone call right now. Hey, let's Sebring come in. Quinn.
Yeah, 0. I can care less.
Damn.
I'm not gonna watch it.
Bailey?
Make it 3 in a row, 0.
You don't like this game at all?
No.
Donnie Riccatelli says hi.
I don't.
Paul.
Can we go negative beans?
Oh, jeez, oh, man.
Extra beans for the next game.
Goodness.
Yeah. Roll my beans over for the next game.
People should prove us wrong and have 1,000 people watch this game just to prove us wrong.
I want to see this game. I mean, it's Beaver Local needs to get back on track, and I hope they do so against Minerva. Give me I'll take 4 beans on this one, boys. 4 beans. Boardman at Massillon Jackson. I'm going to put 9 beans on this one. I want to see how Boardman stacks up against the Polar Bears of Massillon Jackson. Coach.
8.5.
Did you just cut your own bean?
Yeah, I want that half bean. But great colors there, Massillon Jackson. Appreciate that.
I don't think they're dedicating the colors to you there, Skipper.
Of course they are. I wore red for you today.
For me?
Yeah.
I just thought you were trying to blend into the wall.
I'm trying very hard. I like camouflage.
Oh, my goodness. All right, Quinn?
8th.
Okay. Billy?
I'm going to go 5.
Okay, so and this isn't your favorite, but you'd watch it if you
I'm on the fence. Yeah, I'm on the fence with it, so.
Paul?
I like this as a 7-beaner.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
He's been waiting for that.
Yes, he did.
Brookfield at Western Reserve, Paul.
Oh, man. I guess just for the novelty of wanting to see if Coach can get his 100th win, I'll give it a 5.
Okay. Billy?
Brookfield who?
Western Reserve.
Oh, I thought he was throwing shade like, what's Brookfield?
4.
Okay. Quinn?
Yeah, 5.
Coach?
I mean, they're in my league. I'm going to go with 9 beans.
You're gonna watch them.
Yeah, at some point I'm going to watch that film.
I'm going to go with a 6-bean performance for these two teams. If nothing else, Alec and Matt are announcing it. So it could be nothing, and they'll make it sound like it's the Super Bowl. Let's go with Canton Central Catholic versus South Range. Paul.
Well, since I have to be the PA announcer there, this is a 10-bean for me because I have to watch it.
You get to be the PA announcer. You don't have
That's
to
right.
be.
Wow.
Billy.
I'm going to say 7. I just enjoy watching them South Range be so physical up front. It's nasty. It's amazing.
Let's go Quinn.
5.
Coach?
Is Dan Yagley still the coach at South Range?
Sure is.
10 beans.
I hope I get to announce this game. I'm going to go with 10 beans as well because this win for South Range would be tough to stop them the rest of the way. I think if they're 3-0, they could be 10-0. So I think this is one of those games in their schedule that they could be look back and say this is the reason we ended up in week 15, 16. So Mooney and Cheney, I'm going 10 because I love this game. There's a lot of storylines in this, and both teams looking for a dub. Jason Ray will have the call. Coach.
7 beans.
Quinn.
7.
1.
I like it.
I just don't have any interest in this game at all.
Wow.
Sorry.
Paul?
I like it as a 7. You know, it's an old Steel Valley City Series matchup, you know, so I like it.
Champion at Southeast, Paul.
I mean, I don't know, 1.
Okay. Billy?
2.
Quinn?
0.
15/16 of a bean.
He really slicing that thing up now.
I'll give 3 beans on that one. I want to see Champion. I don't think Southeast has been on YSN for football, have they?
Nothing I know of.
Okay, so I think it's always good to see new teams and new faces
Pirates.
on the network.
Maybe a future conference member.
Cleveland JFK at Canfield. A lot of interest in this one. Richie and Gary have the call. I'll give 6 beans on this. Coach.
Wait, who was it again?
Cleveland JFK at Canfield.
Oh, I'm gonna go 5 2/3 beans.
I'm going 8 just so I can listen to Richie.
Okay.
6. I'm intrigued.
Paul?
Even though I kind of talked about this game earlier, just because Quinn's such a dick, I'm gonna give it a 4. because he's not a fan of the Raiders that much, so he's always like 5.
You just poo-pooed on Richie, is what you just did.
Yep.
No, I didn't say I wouldn't listen to it because of the announcers. I just was doing it to just be a jerk to Quinn because he's like 5, 4. Oh, but his own team he's going to pump up.
All right, so we're only going to do, because we're running out of time, we can always talk about this more tomorrow, but I would say let's just keep it on the straight and narrow. Columbiana at Wellington we're probably not going to have, because Wellington's, an hour and 50 minutes away. And it doesn't look like any announcers are going to make it that way. We don't know. We might be able to pull a rabbit out of the hat. I'm going to go 9 beans on Crestview at United. I think this is another one of those games that could be really interesting down the stretch. An old TCL rivalry match. Cusick's team is a second-half team, and United, I mean, you heard it from Amo, the quarterback looking to sling some points. Let's go. I'm going to go 9 beans. Matt?
I'm going to go 8 1/3.
1.
I'm going to go 7.
I agree. I like 7 as well.
Well, we appreciate it, guys. We'll talk about the other games tomorrow. So if your game didn't get beamed, it'll get beamed tomorrow. We will talk about that tomorrow. But right now, you know what it's time for. It's time for the Joe Dickey Electric What's Your Spark, brought to you by our friends over at Joe Dickey Electric. Visit them on the web at dickeyelectric.com. That's dickeyelectric.com. Paul, do you want to do your spark first?
Sure, why not? Mine's a positive spark for 2 things. One, that we're going to enjoy a couple days up here away from the hustle and bustle, but obviously didn't get away from technology too much. Still going to be out there doing my thing. Obviously the other positive sparks that I'm alive after my beach incident today. So, 2 good sparks for me. I'm here and I'm alive, so that's good.
Make sure to carry peas on your leg after you got bit by the, what is that? What's the thing you got?
Jellyfish.
Jellyfish, that's what I was looking for.
Well, that was in Myrtle Beach. This is freshwater up here. It might be a fish or something biting me, but...
Just make sure she pees on your leg anyway, because you almost died.
He's my friend. I'd pee on any one of you if you needed it.
Yeah.
Joey!
Thank you.
Let's go to Mac. What's your spark?
Negative spark. It's Paul. Every time I turn around, the guy's on vacation, and I'm sitting here at home.
You were in Myrtle Beach in Texas.
He took like 12 vacations in the past, 15 weeks. So,
Billy, you were in Texas. You were in Myrtle Beach. Where else do you want to go?
Billy, if you stay in school and work really hard, you too can be a study hall teacher and get 17 vacations.
Sign me up.
That part money must be paying really well.
Who's there?
Quinn, what's your spark?
Mine's a positive spark, and it's not only Jeff, but there's a guy by the name of Wade Smith. That's Coach's defensive coordinator. He's in the box next to us, and I swear to you, I think you can hear him on our headsets. That's how loud he is, and he is hilarious.
Can confirm. Hilarious.
What's your spark, Coach?
I'm going to go with a positive spark, and it's the karaoke sing-along that happened on the back of the bus between the football players and the cheerleaders on the way home this weekend. It was hilarious. We were dying up front.
I'm going to go with the same positive spark. I had the chance to we golf with Jeff and Quinn in the morning, and Steve was there as well. We did the presenting sponsor of the YSU women's basketball golf outing. It was an honor to be a part of that. But then I had to leave a little early and hung out with some of our good friends that have become family to us. The Bells, Charles Bell, Logan Bell, played for Lisbon a few years back. He's been an Astro Falcon. Now he plays at Bowling Green. Went to the Indians game with them, relaxed, just kind of get away from the, like you guys said, the hustle and bustle. From that, I was able to watch at the Indians game YSN. So that's something that I've never seen before. I was excited about. And it's cool sometimes to be a fan, and was able to listen to Quinn and Jeff and Alec and Matt and some of the other guys. So it was awesome to see it. And technology, you guys know I love it, and it was cool to be at the Indians game and be watching Coach at the same time. So that is our spark, brought to you by our friends over at Joe Dickey Electric. Visit them at dickeyelectric.com. Any final thoughts, gentlemen?
He is every bit of that loud. Yes, he is.
On or off the headset.
Cheers.
Cheers. All right, that's going to do it for us here on the YSN Power Hour. Tune in tomorrow. We'll go the rest of the beans, get passed out for the rest of the games on YSN. We'll talk about that, and we'll talk about all the local headlines in the world of sports. Until then, wave the damn flag.